Have we lost our minds? Can we see? Or are we blind? Because it's been well too long since we've tackled an Iron Man villain. So far, we've already seen the Unicorn, the Blizzard, the Dread Knight, the Masters of Silence, Spy Master, and the Ghost. And honest to God, they've all been badass. So let's keep the action going. Iron is forged in fire, and today, Iron Man is gonna face the flames. We're back with Shellhead for another underappreciated adversary, and this time we've got a name that's been passed around more times than Karen Page. Firebrand. How many heat puns can I squeeze into this one? Get ready for me to overuse that explosion transition. No less than 6 individuals have taken the codename Firebrand, and though I'm going to give them all a fair shot, this is why people don't really connect with Tony's bad guys. They can't forge a personal connection, because it's a new face every time. I almost made this a double feature with the Melter, but then I decided Melter deserves his own focus too. Just look at this fella. He was an OG member of the Masters of Evil, you know. So let's see what makes Firebrand's passion run so hot with the OG, the original man behind the matches, Gary Gilbert.
Gilbert!
This cover calls Firebrand the most controversial villain in all of comics. All of them. You PC nerds saying crap like Magneto was right, how the Mandarin's a bad stereotype, or anything about the Red Skull. Haven't seen anything yet. Let's have a look at what makes him such a disputed figure. Screw origin stories, mate, we're getting thrown right in here. Firebrand begins by breaking into a construction site owned by Stark Industries. Oh, he's a smelly hippie. Firebrand and his crew are protesting this site because it's gonna become a new community centre owned by the man. But Brandy's grown disillusioned from failed it's a political, god damn it, it's gonna be a political one. Anyway, Firebrand believes a stronger hand is needed to make the man listen. And in this instance, the man just happens to be genius billionaire playboy philanthropist Anthony Stark. Tony thinks this community centre is going to help this rundown part of town, but all these fellas think it's just another move against them. Iron Man tries to find a peaceful solution, but peace was never an option for the Firebrand. This hothead riles up the crowd and even calls Iron Man's celebrity guest an Uncle Tom. Christ. Tony notices that Firebrand's costume is set to blow, and this punk is acting so erratic it could flare up at any second. But trying to prevent an accident just looks like Iron Man's trying to shut Firebrand up. It's not long before this protest becomes a riot. I'm clueless about politics, but I do know punching. Iron Man and this red-hot rebel throw down, but Firebrand's already accomplished what he wanted, making the establishment look mean to those who disagree with him. But why does he want to sow such discord? Who is this flaming felon? Iron Man is sure he's some mad mercenary getting paid to cause trouble in town, but Firebrand claims he's not the villain here, he's the hero. Firebrand is the civil rights movement gone horribly wrong. Every protest he's been a part of has ended in violence, so now he's the one bringing the violence. With training courtesy of Stark Industries. Firebrand sets a building ablaze, occupying Iron Man while he makes his escape, not caring that his reckless inferno could spread and destroy the whole city. Some hero. Iron Man smothers the flames, and now that he knows Firebrand's game, he might just be able to win. But with Firebrand using the very people Iron Man protects against him, it won't be easy. The councilman in charge of the project, Bradshaw, has no choice but to withdraw the police force from the site. But he does give the protesters an ultimatum, 12 hours, and then the authorities return in force. Tony Stark knows war, and he sees the makings of one here. Yet, for a billionaire wearing a fighter jet, Stark is a man of the people. He knows there's a way out of this, but Bradshaw won't let him find it without a fight. and neither will Firebrand. Firebrand opens fire in the building, but the physical attack is all a smokescreen to his true agenda, the kidnapping of the authoritarian in charge, Councilman Bradshaw. Wait a second. I thought this was the standard fare of a villain thinking he's right, but files Iron Man discovers in Bradshaw's burned up office indicate that he's the real bad guy here, using his position as councilman to make the city use his own businesses and make him a fortune. Could Firebrand really be right? Either way, now that a hostage is involved, it'll be a bloodbath when the police roll in. Even Firebrand's fellow radicals know it, but the burning bastard won't back down, even when Iron Man tells him he's already won. So the Armored Avenger makes him back down with a good old repulsor blast. Bradshaw is rescued and Firebrand runs away, but only because Iron Man chooses to stand between the police and the protesters instead of hunting them down. Seems for all this talk of being the hero, Firebrand's very keen on abandoning those he says he's protecting. Though he escaped, Firebrand isn't seen for a little while after this. The next issue had Shellhead fighting the Controller, another strangely cool villain. We'll probably see more of him later. But for Firebrand, issue 48 was his next big showing, and he came in guns blazing. You don't have to wear a costume to menace Iron Man. Just ask Stark Industries chairman, Simon Gilbert, who's been putting effort in to depose Tony of his presidential position. He's looking to cause some trouble, and he's found Firebrand. Who is this insurrection-causing Inferno? And how does he seem to already know Simon Gilbert? And why is he going on about his childhood? Oh, he's one of those villains, dude. Where did he get his powers? How did he build his armor? Don't worry about it. He just got the technology, so he just built his gear. Don't worry about it. He's literally made himself a tech-powered human torch. Don't worry about how. Lazy. Simon tries to hire Firebrand to obliterate Stark's company and make him look a fool, but the only fool Firebrand sees is Gilbert. He was going to torch Stark Industries anyway, but he's not going to do it under the thumb of some corporate fat cat. This is dumb. He refuses the money, but he was going to do the job anyway. He could have done it and still got rich. Gilbert, you crafty businessman, you've got this idiot working for you for free? Let's just enjoy this dialogue for a moment. Hold it right there, mister. Well, so, Mom's apple pie boy has returned. What the hell does that mean? Oh god. Anyway, they have a fight. This dialogue? Who the hell wrote this? Sesame Street's over. Iron Man. Time for Buffalo Bob. Mike Friedrich, you are a master of your craft. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. Something cool about Firebrand is his blasts are so hot. They keep fusing Tony's circuitry together, so he's countering Iron Man by removing his weapons from the equation, rather than powering himself up. Firebrand is bringing Iron Man down to his level. Firebrand believes he's in the right in trashing SI, but Simon Gilbert's got ulterior motives. He can't trust this pyro punk, so he set the factory to blow himself. But the damage caused by the super scrap leaves Gilbert trapped, just as his own bombs are set to blow. And though Firebrand wants to rescue him, Iron Man knows there's no time. Iron Man saves Firebrand from the Inferno, but no one saves Simon Gilbert from his own hubris. And the scummy man's death relights the fire of revenge within Firebrand. Now, he's really pissed. But why is he so mad? He hated Gilbert and all the fat cats he represented, didn't he? With his armour melting around him, surrounded by an unbearable blaze almost as hot as Firebrand's own hatred, Iron Man punches him in the dick, and down goes Firebrand. And the twist was that Simon Gilbert was Firebrand's father. Yes, the reason he hated corporate bigwigs was because he was raised by one. Huge coincidence if you ask me. Gilbert only says his underworld contacts pointed him to Firebrand, and they just so happened to send him to his own son. Could have been the Masked Marauder, could have been the Sandman, or Beetle, or Whirlwind, but no. But in the game of corporate monopoly, Firebrand goes directly to jail. Do not pass go. But do return in Iron Man issue 59, the final triumph of Firebrand? Yeah, okay mate, let's have a look then. With Simon dead and Gary a costumed criminal, who is left to carry on the good Gilbert name? This cutie over here mate, Roxanne, but the only red light is her fugitive brother, Firebrand. He's white! He called that guy an Uncle Tom when he's white himself, he can't do that! This villain is crazy, dude. It turns out that after his altercation with Iron Man, Gary basically just left once Iron Man was gone. They didn't disarm him. Friggin' hell, he just flew away. Oh mate, I love Firebrand, he's hilarious. Poor Roxanne becomes an unwilling accomplice in her brother's life of crime. Family ties binding her to silence. But she knows that Gary doesn't care about dead old dad, he just wants revenge. Whose name is on this cover again? Is this comic called The Fantastic Firebrand? Nah mate, it's Iron Man. And Tony Stark and Pepper Potts are en route to Roxanne as we speak to sort out the Stark stocks she acquired after her dad's death. Ooh, but it's a trap. Doesn't that just burn you up? Cause if it doesn't, this sure will. Once again, Firebrand only pretends to care about others. The second his sister's of no use to him, he turns on her too. It's the age-old plan of kidnapping to bait the hero, only without realising the villain has already kidnapped the hero. Happens all the time. He sends Stark out to fetch the Armoured Avenger, and round 3 begins. Remember at the start when Firebrand was a radical activist saboteur? Well, it seems that was all a facade, so he could do whatever the hell he wanted. Now he's just like every other Iron Man villain, a loony out for revenge. I could paste the unicorn over this issue, and it'd still make enough sense. Iron Man is forced to follow Firebrand's father's example and jump into an early grave. Ooh, poor Roxanne begs her brother, but he cares not for life, only his twisted hatred for the industry. This is why Kraven's Last Hunt wouldn't work as an Iron Man story. The guy wears a flying tank. Tony just boosts his way out of the grave and up to freedom. What fearful hand or eye will frame Firebrand's mugshot? Imagine going to visit your nan's grave and 2 cyborg mugs are fist fighting over it. Well, fists won't win this one, Tony. Gotta play it smart. I'm seeing double. 4 Iron Men. Tony's cool gadgets outstyle the one-trick pony that is Firebrand, but now he's backed into a corner. If he can't defeat Iron Man physically, maybe he can emotionally, by lighting up Pepper. Roxanne stands in her brother's way and takes some heat herself for it. Any sympathy we could have ever felt for Firebrand has just gone up in smoke, and he goes down again with an iron smack. The ever-chivalrous Iron Man takes Roxanne to... Wait a second. Crime Marauder? No, it couldn't be. It is! Issue 60 has the masked Marauder. No way, dude. Love that guy. I'll be coming back for him later. But we're still not done with Firebrand. And we're still on the first Firebrand. Jesus Christ, there's like 6 of them, man. I better get a shifty on here. Captain America issue 319 is our next stop. He's dead. Death Adder is dead. Well, you reap what you sow, don't you, mate? Someone is going round murdering supervillains. No, it's not Frank Castle. It's this fella, Scourge of the Underworld. Local villains unite at the bar with no name to discuss what is to be done about this bloodthirsty bandit. But I can't name anyone here except my man Mirage in the yellow there. He nearly ruined Betty Brant and Ned Leeds' wedding. Why does Marvel have a hero and a villain, both named Mirage? The head of this meeting is none other than Gary Gilbert, Firebrand himself. Oh, and here's who the rest of these losers are. I thought Turner D Century was from DC. I thought that was Gentleman Ghost's real name. To be fair to Gary, this was a sound idea in concept, strength and numbers and that. But all he's really done is assemble a nice firing range for Scourge. And now, the only thing hot about the Firebrand is the lead that killed him. Honestly, we started out a bit tricky with his politics, but when he acted more like your standard baddie, Firebrand was boss. Bloody funny too. Mum's apple pie boy had me pissing myself. I'm gonna be using that in day-to-day conversation from now on. Rest in peace, Gary Gilbert. I don't doubt you'll be back before long, but now we're gonna turn to another Firebrand. Russ. Broxtel? Okay. Hey, it's Spidey. Nice. Web of Spider-Man 77 and 78 gives us an all-new flaming foe. Am I allowed to call people flaming? Anyway, Peter Parker and his gorgeous wife, yes, wife, Mary Jane, are at a party with the Bugle staff when suddenly it all kicks off. The stage has been sabotaged by a mysterious assailant. And underneath investigating is the spectacular Spider-Man himself. He spots the saboteur and gives chase. Yada yada yada, Morlocks, okay, they're taking this baby, probably to eat it, I don't know. Am I reading the right issue? Where's Firebrand? The cover said Firebrand was meant to be in this one. Has my love for classic Spider-Man stories gaslit me into reading this one again? The party guests all try and keep the cool as they make their way to the exit in total darkness. But one of them, some guy called Broxtel, seems to be missing. Broxtel's buddy yells out for him, and Broxtel answers in the form of an all-new Firebrand. Oh, okay, here we go. All-new FB brings down the house as two heroes I couldn't care less about, Cloak and Dagger, leap in to stop him. Kidding me, mate, the cover said Spider-Man was fighting him. I feel robbed. Issue 78 had better deliver or I'm writing an angry letter. Spidey is still underground, chatting away with the Morlocks. Oh, Toast of the Town, that's pretty funny for a title. So Cloak and Dagger will have to sort out this new burning baddie. Hey look, this one doesn't claim to have some higher cause like Gary Gilbert did. He's just a straight up mercenary enforcer, and a cheeky one too. He took the money meant for his gangster boss for himself. Very cheeky indeed. You know, maybe I've been a bit too hard on Dagger. Oh, the heroes fly in to douse new Firebrand's burning ambitions. Nah, honestly, all they do is keep Firebrand distracted while civilians escape. They don't seem to get any proper good hits in, or have any story potential besides filling out the page count. But who is this titillating new tinderbox? Get onto this. This guy found the schematics for Gary Gilbert's supersuit and recreated one for himself. That's it, that's his origin. Right, that's it now. Enough of these bottom barrel vigilantes. We need a real hero. We need Spider-Man. I'm not even gonna waste your time pretending here, mate. Of course the amazing Spider-Man wins. He webs Firebrand's hands to his own chest, so his chemical flames ruin his own costume. What an idiot. Someone get this hothead out of here. Okay, I've looked it up. Broxtel never comes close to being an interesting character. He's just a mercenary with a flamethrower. He joins a villain gang called the Force of Nature. Gets his ass kicked by the New Warriors of all people. Then he turns up on Captain... What the hell is that thing? Whoa, why wasn't this on the cover? A barrage of some of my favourite bad guys attacking Captain America all at once. We've got Rhino, Stiltman, Beetle, Unicorn, Blizzard, The Ringer, The Shocker. I haven't forgotten Firebrand, I am looking for him. I haven't found Firebrand yet, but this purple masked man giving it to Captain America is the Eel. Yeah, go Eel! Kill that star-spangled stooge. Okay, I think this is Firebrand here. Google said he appeared in this issue, and I know anyone can edit Wikipedia pages. But who's the sick bastard who would claim Firebrand 2 is in an issue when he really isn't? So Cap kicks his ass. This dude let me down loads after the first guy grew on me so much. Stock mercenary characters can be cool as well. Look at Hobgoblin. You know what? This guy is a poor man's Jason Macendale. He stole the identity and just made it lame. Let's just forget this ever happened and check out Firebrand 3. and it looks like he's a far cry from the other two. Might be interesting, let's give him a go. Iron Man from 1998, issues 4 and 5. His introductory page makes him look cool as hell, but Firebrand 3 seems to have similar motives to the original, so why not just use the original? Look, he hates millionaires and he wants power to the people. Or so he says. Clearly we cannot trust Firebrands. Even Iron Man himself thinks the original was the best, but number 3 still wants to prove he's got what it takes to light a fire under Iron Man. He's turned up the heat on his Caribbean resort island, devastating it with a man-made meteor shower because it's a popular resort for the fat cats he despises. Fat cats like Tony Stark. This bit's kind of funny. He tries to recruit the Armored Avenger to his cause. After all, as far as Firebrand knows, Iron Man is just an employee to Stark. Firebrand offered Iron Man friendship, and he spat in his face by damaging his super suit. Only it's not a super suit, it's a containment suit. Firebrand is set to blow, so Tony makes him take a dive. Is this the end of Firebrand 3? Let's keep reading and see, but for now the devastation his molten shower caused is huge. The fight is over, but Iron Man's work is just beginning. Oh hang on, did I say the fight was over? Because now it's sparked anew. Firebrand is back, and using his fantastic firepower, he's set off a long dormant volcano. Now mate, we're in crisis mode. The entire island is a disaster area, but Tony can't be everywhere all at once. Quickest way to save the day is to smoke the new Firebrand. But who is this high temperature hitman? Well, to start, we learn here he's part of a terrorist group called the Flamin' Sword. That's so cool. Then we get the full download on the new hot henchman. Richard Dennison was an eco-terrorist who was left for dead by his crew when they struck at an alternative energy plant dealing with super hot plasma. The explosion they caused merged Richard with the plasma, turning him into the metahuman fairness he is today. Knowing his enemy doesn't mean Iron Man knows how to beat him. He can't truly damage the new Firebrand without him blowing up the whole island. Gotta play this one smart. What Firebrand doesn't know is that he's being used. His radical allies, the Flamin' Sword, let him think they're anti-capitalist, and while FB burns the targets, the swordsmen rob them blind. Not that Richard would believe it if you told him anyway. Clearly there's no point in talking. Tony should just take this walking eruption down already. And the fellas who caused this crisis end up solving it. The Flamin' Sword built a kill switch into Richard's exosuit, so a simple hack later, Iron Man remodels it into a weapon of his own. A super hot drill that redirects the lava flow away from the town. Tony uses the villain's own powers to solve the problem. Go ahead mate, crafty. Tony's just made this guy look like a fool. He's gonna have to do something big to earn back some respect. Or something stupid. He couldn't handle one Avenger, so now he's trying them all at once. And mate, it's a stacked crew as well. Thor, Iron Man, Vision, Firestar, whoever the hell Justice is, Wonder Man, Scarlet Witch, and Captain America. Firebrand, you ballsy bastard. A bit too ballsy. Honestly, there's not a lot of story here because, ironically, Firebrand is the cold open bad guy. He goes down pretty hard, though to be fair, it's Wonder Man and Thor who cool him off this time. What can be said about Firebrand 3? He was better than the second one just because he had a proper motive, but now he's just a weapon for the Flamin' Sword, not a lot of agency. Let's check out Firebrand 4, and guess what mate? It's a chick. And Jesus Christ, she's joined in her debut by the entire Iron Man Rogues gallery, all in a plot to destroy Stark once and for all. I'll tell you what mate, they love mystery at Marvel, because all we learn about this new Firebrand is that she's hot in more ways than one. In the story Iron Man No More, we've already seen this in the Spymaster video, and I guarantee I'll be seeing it many more times talking about other Iron bad guys. Firebrand 4 is a member of the kill squad assembled by the Mandarin and Ezekiel Stane to murder Iron Man. but she's clearly new at this and is rather swiftly handled. Easy peasy, but whatever, she was just a foot soldier to wear Iron Man down this time. Seems this lady likes being part of a team, because we next see her alongside Vibro and the living Laser. Laser's so sick, dude, more on him soon. Maybe not Vibro though. These three are hired to guard this Colombian drug lord's mansion from Iron Man, who's searching for some of the extremist formula the criminals have stashed away. Will Firebrand 4 get a proper fight against Iron Man this time? Well, that depends on how much the living Laser leaves for it. Let's see what temperature Iron melts at. Oh, or not then. Tony just releases some knockout gas and all three of these techno-terrorists crumble. Iron Man fights smarter, not harder. Here is where I'm cutting this one short, because Firebrand 4 next rolls up in a story called Infinity Heist, but I'm afraid that is a story for another video, after a few more key players have been revealed. So let's run off to find Firebrand number 5. In Deadpool issue 27, The Wedding of Deadpool, the new Firebrand. Oh, he's dead. He doesn't even get a name before Deadpool kills him. Firebrand 6, Great Lakes Avengers from 2016. Jesus, Marvel, what is this? Is that Carnage's bitch Shriek up there? I do like this guy's look though. Detroit is attacked by a familiar face, but this isn't Richard whatever his name was. It's an all new Firebrand. That was Shriek. What the hell is she doing here? Why is she in a team that isn't Carnage's family? She's a lunatic. Who would work with her? Oh, anyway. This Firebrand is called Erickson Hades. He's got one of them prophetic names like Harleen Quinzel or Johnny Spiderman. New Firebrand is part of a villain gang terrorizing Detroit. But who the hell cares? This book is obviously a joke. Case in point, this is in issue 1. I simply do not want to read this. Sometimes a super identity can get passed on and the new character can ascend beyond the original. Wally West's Flash, Eugene Thompson as Venom. Even villain legacies can outperform their predecessors. Harry Osborn Green Goblin, Baron Helmut Zemo. That didn't happen here. The original Firebrand had a radical cause and didn't care who he had to hurt to show his way of thinking. Then after him we had the boring mercenary. Bottom of my list is that Broxtel fella. He did nothing to earn the name and did nothing interesting with it. Number 3 was interesting again because he was a meta-human threat, but he was hampered by just being a tool for his organisation to use. 4 was just a pretty set piece. She said and did nothing of consequence in what we saw today, but there is still hope if she comes out looking good when we do Infinity Heist. 5, I'm not counting. He survived for 2 panels on a single page. And 6, another joke, and I don't know why they even bothered making him a new identity. There is some potential in Firebrand's initial concept of a public rights movement gone extreme, especially if he's just manipulating others into violence for his own cause. I think it's a good reflection of Tony Stark being a man of the people. I was pleasantly surprised by the Gary Gilbert incarnation. It's just a shame the rest was so crap.